Hello, welcome to another episode of We Have Interviews. Stevie Wildcard's internet is still not working, so I'm here by myself, but I'm joined by one of my favorite people. So I'm gonna say, welcome to We Have Interviews. I'm Anthony,
And I'm Edwin Decastro.
and
Welcome to We Have Issues.
that's right. We're here. We're gonna be talking about Edwin's new book. Well, I mean, now you're 3 issues deep into this thing, but it's a fantastic book. It's a new campaign that's on its last leg. We're in the last week of this thing. We're trying to give it a little push to see if we can get people interested.
6 days.
Oh man. So let's start off. Will you tell people a little bit about yourself, like your name and just like what you do, what kind of stuff you like to make?
So as I said earlier, my name's Edwin. I'm a writer, I'm a dad, gamer, musician, a lover of media, just a multifaceted kind of guy. I've went to school for cooking, music, journalism. What
Literally
else
the
I
jack
gotta
of all
do?
trades. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've kind of dabbled in everything, but my love has always been writing, so I'm pursuing that dream. We're 3 issues in, technically 4 issues deep if we count the alternative issues. So yeah, the dream's happening. We're making it.
Oh man, it's been so awesome to watch it all like come together, and like you're one of the very few people I met on Twitter who I actually got a chance to hang out with in real life, which is so cool. And I just I love that we've been able to become friends and just like support one another. It's really cool. I mean, the comic book community on Twitter and online is multifaceted and complicated to say the least, and like it gets a little weird to like navigate.
Yeah.
But meeting people like you, it's totally worth it. I freaking love it. And it's even better. And like Steve and I have talked about it before on our show, but like it's even better because we actually like your book a lot. Like it's not.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not because you always want to support your friends. You always want to have their backs and try to get people to read the book. But I actually like this book. So can you tell people a little bit about the story and a little bit about the book to like get them interested?
Yeah, of course. It's basically about Grim Reapers who take the souls of the dead and take them to the afterlife to be judged. We center around my main character, whose name is Gwen. She gets tasked on this particular day of collecting the soul of someone who claims to have dissociative identity disorder. So she's looking for a guy named Verda, but he says his name is Dospe. And she's like, hold up, what are you trying to pull here? And yeah, is he trying to cheat death by finding a loophole? Is he lying? Is he telling the truth? Meanwhile, while she's looking up more info on this, she finds out that there's an apocalypse coming in 24 hours. So girl's got a lot on her plate.
Yeah, man, it's so cool. Like, there's so much going on in the story, and I feel like you juggle it all really well. Like, it never feels like overtly like serious or dark in a way that like like I feel like there's so much levity in it. It's fun but still apocalyptic, and so it's just like it's a really cool tone and it's a fun book. It's like the art is fantastic. Who's been doing the art lately?
So my main artist is Elton. He does wonders. He's worked on all the issues on the main version. The colorist was Diego, but he unfortunately passed away in the production of issue 2. So we had to switch to Gabriel, who actually is his understudy. So it's kind of a passing the torch moment that at least worked out. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Man, it's crazy how things work out. I mean, sorry for your loss, dude, but that's nuts. It's really cool that they got to move on that way and kind of evolve and develop. It's crazy. It's such a fun book, and I want people to read it. And like we push every Kickstarter we can. Steven and I, we're gonna be in this issue, so we're super excited about it. Also, we got the cameo. So if you're listening right now, there's is there a cameo tier in this one? I think there is, right?
Yeah, there is a cameo tier. So I did cameo tiers for all my previous Kickstarters. Yeah. Usually it was to be a zombie or a human survivor. You got to kind of pick. You guys are going to get obliterated in this issue.
Oh, it's so good.
He got the preview.
If you want to know what Edwin really thinks of us, read this issue. Yeah, read hour 2. Blah, just myrtleize for good. No.
The way I say it, the more brutal your death is, that's how much I love you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
But yeah, well, that cameo tier is returning. I figured I'd change it up a little. So like if you already had a cameo, but you still want that tier, I'm doing it where you can still have like your comic or your business or whatever it is podcast featured in it. And if you haven't, you can still, of course, be a zombie, a human survivor, whatever it is. Yeah. So
that's so cool, man. Like, yeah, I saw that, and I was talking to Steven about that. I was like, we need to get We Have Issues into this book. It's gotta happen.
I have the perfect idea for it too.
Do you? Oh man,
yeah.
Yes. So yeah, we're all about that. I mean, I'm gonna. It's one of those things where it's like, I have like only so much money, and I'm just like, I give it as much as I can to people's Kickstarters, and I'm like, all right, it's coming down to it. We have 6 days left. What more can I squeeze out of my bank account at this point? Just $5.
Yeah.
It's crazy because we all want to support one another, but it's just like there's so many people with books out, so it's hard. I get it. Like the competition's getting stiff, and it's just like it's saturated right now. Like there's so many people, and there's so much going on in the world, and people are just
It's so many factors.
So many factors right now. It's like first we had COVID, and then we just have all this like just political nonsense and all this stuff, and it's just like we can never just have
all
a break
rolled into one.
We can't just get a break and
you
read
don't
some
even
books.
factor. Yeah, of course, like the political, like voting. You got the whole Elon Musk thing with Twitter.
Oh my God, I know.
Don't even get me started there.
Taking over Twitter lately.
Economics right now, inflation, people being worried about all that. And then one thing that I kind of didn't, I expected, but I guess I underestimated how big this would be. You know, like my comic centered around dark fantasy, a little bit horror. So I wanted, of course, time of Halloween and also beat the holiday rush. Right. But everyone else is trying to do the same thing and beat the holiday rush. So like, I think there's just so many things going on Kickstarter right now, or just every crowdfunding site in general. Yeah. So that's another factor. There's a lot of things.
It's crazy, man. I mean, I was going to ask you, like, those are probably the main factors. Have you done anything else this time? Or like, have you noticed any changes in this campaign that like, I don't know, like what's different about this one? Is it just all these social aspects, just like everything being muddied right now? Do you think that's what it is?
I think that's what it is, but also me personally, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, I guess. Because when I used to work at a pizzeria that I've mentioned a few times before, I, as overworked as I was there would be so much dead time at times where I could just be on my phone and be Twitter, marketing, all of that. Yes. But now with this new job, I don't have that luxury. Yes. And then when I get home, now having a daughter who's 5 months old, things like that, the time, where is it? So I feel like I've been marketing, but just not as much as I had for the past two. So of course that's a slight factor. And just starting a new job, learning, like, you want to focus on learning it and things. Yeah, this is a lot of things rolled up into one.
Yeah, those opportunity costs, like you can either choose. You're like, do I spend time with my baby, or do I go on Twitter and talk about comics with people trying to get an audience? And like you wish you could do both, but the truth is you're gonna focus on the baby, 10 out of 10 times. That's just how it goes.
Comes first. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every time, and it's like I felt that recently. Like I feel that a lot, but like my job, it's like it's a seasonal retail. Like I work retail, so when season comes, I have no downtime. It's just constantly like busy, constantly people in my face, constantly like drama, people yelling at me and all this stuff. When that's not the case, I'm just on my phone sitting there bored and just like tweeting and getting more and more attention, more and more eyes on the book. But now I'm like drained and exhausted from dealing with all these people, and I have no time to like interact with people online to market. And then it's like, and on top of that, I was in a relationship, and I was like, I was happy for a while, and I wasn't wanting to be on Twitter. I'm like, oh no, I'm happy outside of Twitter. I don't want to be on the internet, like talking to strangers. I want to be here with these people doing these things, but I'm not marketing. I'm not in there. I'm not like out there, like getting my name out, So it's like, there's always that cost, and it freaking sucks,
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like you have a really good attitude about everything, and you're just like, it's kind of like a roll with the punches and, do what we can, with what we have, and I that's all we can do, right?
Yeah. I mean, I try to stay positive. Of course, if you have someone who literally says like, oh yeah, my campaign, it has a week left, we're just barely halfway funded. If they're telling you they're flat out not worried, happy, no care in the world, I don't know. There's something wrong with that person.
Yeah.
So sure. Like, I try to stay positive.
You feel it, but you're feeling,
it's a little mentally fatiguing. I will say, like, I still have hope and confidence that we'll make it. If we don't make it, I mean, I will have to think about how to proceed, but I still do at least want to continue the comic and the story. Like, that's for sure. Yes. How? I don't know. We'll figure that out, but the story will continue.
Dude, I mean, I obviously, I know you have plans and everything, but it's like, worst case scenario, as I see it, it's just a bad time for people to give money. It's just, it is like, it's so many little things happening right now with like, like we were talking about, just like people are tightening their pockets, and it's also getting close to Christmas time. People are less able to, are less likely to give. I think worst case scenario, you just run another campaign right after Christmas, and I think you'd rock it. But I'm saying that as worst case scenario. I still think you can totally do it, and like my plan is to push the hell out of it and do everything I can to help, man. I want this book, and I know what's going to happen. I know I'm going to get the book. I know you're going to get the book. But I just want it to happen now. It's like I know you do too.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Fucking,
I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate it, and thank you. I'm gonna be pushing the hell out of it too.
yeah,
I have a
man.
little Hail Mary move I kind of want to try. I've definitely shown this off to you and Twitter and all.
Yes.
This little sculpture of Gwen. It's one of a kind.
Yeah.
Now I'm not giving this baby away,
Yeah.
but I will, me out of my pocket, commission another one of these to someone,
Right.
random backer, as long as we get funded. I'm thinking maybe like if you've pledged 50 or above, you get a chance of winning it. So that's like a little Hail Mary move I'm thinking of doing. I might announce that tomorrow.
Heck yeah,
But
dude.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to see what we can do.
I mean, something else I was thinking is like, are you gonna go to that Comic-Con on the 27th, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. How about just because you have 6 days left, right? Like here we are. We have issue stickers and we have barreled stickers, right? Like we'll throw in for anyone who gives $5 or more, or like anyone who gets a physical copy of your book, we'll throw in a sticker for you. Like
Awesome. I appreciate it.
so 27, like when the 27th comes, I'll give you a bunch of stickers and you just throw them in. If you need more, you let me know and we'll get more to you. But I think like, so right now, if you haven't backed Lost Between Worlds Hour 2, go back it. If you get a physical copy, you'll also get We Have Issue stickers and or barreled stickers. We're going to do whatever we can, and we're going to shove some free stuff into Edwin's, packages. We're going to help him out and get these freaking books, man. It's going to happen. So like, we're going to get you some stickers. We're going to make this happen, dude, one way or another.
Worth it. It's worth it.
It's totally worth it. Like this is like, I love the first books. I can't wait for the story to continue. I know it's going in awesome places. I love the fact that it's hour by hour. It's so cool. It's a really sweet idea. So it needs to happen.
I sometimes wonder if like, cause me personally, I like to go against the grain, try to be unique, but I sometimes wonder if that's a hindrance. Like, people sometimes say like, since you're an indie creator and it's your first series, you shouldn't go for a long one. You should try for 2, 3, 4, 5 series, whatever. Yeah. I don't know if sometimes people think that's a factor. Like, oh, he can't keep up with that.
Right.
Or just like, I don't know. I'm trying also like the whole alternate issue idea. Like to me, I think that's a cool idea to try and compare the two, see what's the difference. Not only that, but then spotlighting different artists every time.
Yes.
I just don't know if people are just like, that's a little too much. I'm like lost. I don't know. I just think sometimes maybe I'm trying too hard.
I don't know. Like I get what you're saying. Like people can see it as being overly ambitious or like, I don't know. But I love it. I think it's great. I think you obviously have a vision for the project, and it shows, and it's a great voice. It's a cool tone throughout the series so far, and like it's just getting cooler and deeper into it, like I feel like it's one of those things that's not like I'll tell you, I personally have a problem with like some fantasy worlds. Like I think that some worlds, when I start reading things, I'm just like, it's too big. Where I'm like, there are too many words that like not like human, not like English words or earthly words. They make up too many like names for places, names for every animal, names for every, and you have to sit there and kind of like decipher what they're talking about. It's like, look, that's just your name for like space squirrel. Like just say space squirrel.
I completely agree. Completely agree.
So like, there are some stories that get to that point where I'm like, okay, I have to put this down because it's basically like reading like a thick Russian novel with like 78 like names and they all have 15 syllables, and I can't do it, and I want to, but it's just too much for me right now. It's too much to decipher. I don't have that time. I don't feel like this book is like that. I feel like this book is like really cool and dense, but in a way that is totally like accessible and sweet. It's just like, it's fun to read, and you can totally just burn through it in like a fun like popcorn movie sort of way. Like I could see it being a movie or like a cool series, like I could see it on TV, for sure.
I will say that's how I'm kind of writing it. Like I'm writing it as if for sure it's a comic, obviously. But I will say it's also, in my opinion, it can be transitioned to a series one day. I'm also another thing overly ambitious, working on a motion comic. That's a bit on the slow back burner, but it's still being worked on. So yeah, we're doing that too. And man, I don't know. I like to keep it realistic, like it's set in the modern world, but just
Yeah.
give it like a dash of fantasy, which
Yes.
is it's inspired by different gods of death from different religions and mythologies.
Oh,
So we're
it's
just
so good.
factoring in the two, you know?
Oh yeah, that's dude. It's so much fun. And I don't know, like, what's the research like with that? Is it fun to like learn about the different various like deaths in different cultures? Have you like, do you have
Yeah,
a
no, it
favorite
was.
one?
I do have a favorite, but it's more like just because of their fashion. Like every time I see the God of Death, and that would be Baron Samedi. Like I love the whole suit look and like how
Yeah,
sometimes he's painted skeletal and things like that.
awesome.
Uh, Spoiler: he might appear in the series, but
Yeah.
um, I will say when I was doing the research, I knew I wanted to obviously use a God of Death. But I didn't want to use someone who obvious, for example, like Baron Samedi. I wanted to use one that like people wouldn't know right away, like, oh, that's based on somebody. So also being Hispanic, when you talk about death, you use feminine pronouns in Spanish. So I was like, it should be a female. And so when I was researching names, I came across Gwyneth Nud. It's a dude, and it's spelled differently. It's spelled with an E at the end of Gwyn. But I was like, the name's perfect,
Yeah.
and also the way they're like themed, like it's based off Celtic lore. So I don't know. I just felt like it fit a female character, and it just
Yeah.
the pieces fell in. The pieces fell
Oh
together.
yeah, and I mean, she's such a cool character. Like I love seeing characters like that, and like I'm not great at creating iconic characters. I'm usually like a more of like slice of life, like little like I tried because I was like, I'm gonna do this unicorn monster teddy bear, and people are gonna love it. You know, I was like, I'm gonna make
I
something
think
that
it
no one
will
else.
be.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm hoping, man. I really hope people like it. But like, I feel like Gwen is like that. Like, I feel like Gwen is one of those like iconic looking characters where it's like she has such a cool presence. Where it's like, I love it. I love her. Um,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to go for with her. I wanted her to be like someone actually people can look up to, both male or female, it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
especially for females, like, there's always being beautiful and elegant, but I didn't want her to be like sexualized. Fans will do whatever they want, but at least with me, like I want to keep it, let's PG-13. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We're gonna see like 3 years from now, we're gonna see like Gwen and Beryl in all sorts of ways that we don't want to see. There's all sorts of things we can't escape it. But Rule
There's a
34.
there's a fairy con that might be popular there.
Yeah, but oh man, I can't wait. Have you had any other conventions since the last time I saw you, or was that your last one?
I think that was my last one, yeah, because I think at the time I know my wife was definitely pregnant already. I think
Yeah,
she was like maybe 2 months or so before giving birth,
yeah,
like three
yeah,
maybe at the most. So like yeah, that's been my last one. We there's been opportunities to go to cons, but she was
yeah.
still pretty young. So yeah, I didn't want to leave her with the baby all alone. But
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
I don't know if they'll make it, but since it's only for the day, I think I can at least,
yeah,
by
definitely.
myself go if anything.
That's awesome. So I was gonna ask you. So what has dad life been like for you so far? Like, how has your life been just as a dad in general? What's it like?
I'm loving it. Of
Yeah,
course, the first couple months are hard. Babies are
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
definitely wake you up in the middle of the night. But she's actually gotten really good. She will maybe wake up once or twice throughout the night.
yeah,
9 times out of 10. Sometimes she'll have that bad night. But
yeah.
yeah, things have gotten better. She's really calm. She's really cool. Really
Oh,
chill girl. I love her.
yeah, that's
And
awesome.
the Pizza Hut, I will say, when I worked there, that
Yeah,
schedule again a little bit work better because I work nighttime. So,
yeah.
in the daytime while she's working, I could be with her. So now that we both work daytimes, we have to get the grandmas involved. But yeah, no, I'm
Oh,
happy. I love it.
yeah. How does the grandma feel about it?
Grandma, I mean, she loves her.
Yeah.
She just asks for some gas money, but other than that, she's
Of
happy to
course,
do it.
of course. No, dude, that's great. I mean, I'm glad. It seems like parenting suits you. Like dad lives totally suits you well. I'm glad to hear about the job. Like it sucks that the timing doesn't work out as well, but like you seem happier at least, right? That's
Definitely,
what are we
definitely.
gonna do?
I mean, pay is better mentally. I think up here it's
Yeah.
better. Just like everything else, it's not completely perfect, but yeah, overall, it's much better.
Yeah. So I have one more question before like we will do like a final pitch for your book. But I have one more like quick question. I want to put you on the spot for a sec.
Okay.
What would your Mount Rushmore of comic book characters be? Like characters that you love, that you've read, and that like meant something to you. It doesn't have to like just it can even just any comic book based character. It can be animation. It can be whatever you want.
All right. I'm gonna have to for sure say No, not in any particular order.
No.
Donatello from the Ninja Turtles, because I just love them. I
Yes.
can quote the movies, like I've read all the books. Donatello is my absolute favorite.
Yes.
So for sure he's got to get up there.
Yeah.
Next up would be Batman, because Batman, like dude, just great stories, great villains.
Oh
Like
God,
he's
the best
awesome.
villains, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny, as a kid, I couldn't stand him for the reasons that I love him now.
That's
Like
so
as a
that's
kid, I was like, you
amazing.
guys got no powers. This
That's
villain sucks.
that's what it's true. Yeah, I mean, I
No,
was
that's
the
what
same
makes
way
him
for a
awesome.
while. I fell in love with the animated series though, but like I totally get that for sure.
Yeah, no, he's definitely gotten climbed the mountain, as we were talking now.
Yeah.
I would say third. Third would be in a similar vein. I got to throw out Rorschach, just because, like, man, when I first read Watchmen back when I was like college days, like,
Yeah.
21, 22, that character blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like, just for someone to be so like stick to their guns, and the
Oh
way he
yeah.
goes out, like,
Oh
yeah, that was
yeah.
pretty awesome. That was pretty
It was
awesome.
incredible. For sure,
Yeah,
dude.
and then number four. Four is a hard one.
Uh-huh.
I think I gotta go. You know what? Can we throw a villain in there?
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Yes.
Then yeah, I gotta throw in Joker, just because of all the aspects of him. Like, you have the gangster, the
Yeah.
psychotic, the like cartoony version.
Oh
I think
yeah.
he could fit so many stories, and
Which
like,
one?
yeah, he can
Oh.
sometimes be overused, but like, man,
Which
he
one
has
would
so many
you
good
carve
ones.
though? What face do you see when you carve? Is it like a comic book face? Is it the animated face? Is it Heath Ledger? Is it
That's a
like
good
which
question.
that's because there's so many. That's the only thing about the Joker. It's like everyone has their various versions, but I feel like his versions are so specific too. Or it's interesting.
I think I would pick the animated one, the Mark
Yeah.
Hamill
Oh
version.
man, the best.
Yeah.
That's classic for sure. What an iconic voice. Like just
Oh man.
and like the fact that it's Mark Hamill, like I just like everything about it is beautiful.
Yeah, finding that out blows your mind the first time.
Oh my god, yes. So everyone, go check out Edwin's book right now. Go. It's not too late.
Dude, yeah.
Go do it.
We got awesome tiers. We got another tier we haven't even talked about besides the cameo one. Just because, again, I'm trying to just be cool, unique, bring back things I like.
Yeah.
You remember those write into the editor and it would get published into the comic?
Yes.
We're doing that. That's a tier you can get. Yeah.
That's
you
a cool
can
tier. Okay.
Yeah, you can write to me, ask me anything, or you can even ask Gwen, and yeah, she'll answer you in character. Ask her whatever you want, see what she says. I thought that was a cool little thing.
That's a really cool idea. Dude, I love that stuff. Actually, like I have all these Scud books up here. One of my favorite things about those is, so in the beginning of every issue, the very first page, like the interior cover page, he always casts the whole like every character in the book as movie characters, and he says like who would play each character. He says like what the soundtrack would be, and then
That's awesome.
and then he does like this whole like notes to the editor thing, and it's just he writes to people. And it's so cool. It's just one of those like it's little personal touches like that I feel like really drew me in as a kid and really like made me love it and feel more connected to it as a person. So I don't know. I think people will totally dig that. So that's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's really cool because you get to be, in a way, it's also another version of a cameo. You're featured in the comic book as a question. And you get to find out little nuggets about Gwen potentially that you definitely wouldn't normally find out in the story. Yes. So that's also another cool little aspect of it.
One last thing before we go, I want you to pitch your book to people, tell people like who this book is for and why they should go and back it immediately, like this second.
Well, you should back it immediately right now because it's just an awesome book by who I think is an awesome creator. And yeah, it's for people who like dark fantasy, if you like action, psychological thrillers, I think it would be for you. If you like a series like Bleach, Death Note, Castlevania, Bayonetta, or even movies like Split and Fight Club, those are like a big inspirations to the series. I think it'd be for you. If you just basically want kind of like a shonen anime, where it's like a lot of action, and you got all those factions and characters, but mixed in with some realistic comic book visuals, then again, I think it'd be for you.
Awesome. No, I totally need people to go read this book immediately or go back this book right now. Edwin, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry Steven couldn't be here. He is fist fighting with CenturyLink right now.
Dude, that's so crazy.
They're months away. He hasn't. Can you imagine at this point in 2022, almost 2023, not having the internet for months at a time? Like, Steven's basically Amish at this point. Like I don't
know how he's kept his sanity, especially his girls.
Man, those girls are amazing. And then by amazing, I mean a handful. Steven, you're a saint for dealing with no. It's incredible, dude. So Steven hasn't had internet for a couple months. Anyone who watches our show knows that. It's been an issue, but dude, thank you. Thank you for, rolling with it and being here with us and, being such a good friend. I'm excited to see you on the 27th. It's going to be cool to hang out. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm gonna do everything I can to get people on your book, man. We're gonna keep doing this. We're not giving up. We're not losing hope yet.
We got this. Yeah, I'm 100%. Super excited to see you at the con. I'm like, I hope Stephanie gets to go because yeah, she's gonna be excited to see you guys too if that's the case.
Heck yeah, dude. I hope so. And your baby. You guys are so cute. I love it. But all right, dude. I hope everyone goes to follow you. I'll put all of the links below. Of course, the Kickstarter's below. Your Twitter. Is there anywhere else I'm not thinking? Is there a lostbetweenworlds.com? What was it?
Yeah, I have a website. It's lostbetweenworlds.comic.com.
There you go.
I haven't plugged it in a while.
I know that's
Kickstarter so much. But yeah, we have a website where you can buy the physicals, and then of course I have Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff.
Of course. All right, all the links will be below. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you, Edwin, and we'll definitely have you on hopefully soon.
I'll always be here, ready to support you guys and be on the show if you need me.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate you.